Righto. Principle 53. Practice uncommon appreciation. Success principles. It's a penny of a jug. Righto. I'm eating a little bit while I'm doing this because I'm late from work and just, I don't know, deal with it. Righto. There is more hunger for love and appreciation in this world than for bread. Mother Teresa, winner of Nobel Peace Prize. I've yet to find a man, however exalted his station, who did not do better work and put forth greater effort under a spirit of approval than under a spirit of criticism. Oh, what a quote. That's my quote of the week. I'm just going to read that again because it's amazing. I've yet to find a man, however exalted his station, who did not do better work and put forth greater effort under a spirit of approval than under a spirit of criticism. So true. So literally the way the body works. All right. That was by Charles Schwab. A recent management study revealed that 46% of employees leaving a company do so because they feel unappreciated. Boom, I've been there. 61% said their bosses don't place much importance on them as people. Yep. And 88% said they do not receive acknowledgement for the work they do. So this gives you a really clear indication of what to do as a boss. And your staff are going to be happy. An example of how powerful appreciation can be and what a difference it can make is illustrated in the email below. On the 10th anniversary of Chicken Soup for the Soul, our publisher, Health Communications Incorporated, held a party featured a slideshow of the most memorable highlights from the past decade. Randy Zetlin-Feldman at HCI created the sideshow, and I sent her flowers to appreciate her for the superb job she'd done. Here's the email I received in return. The subject line read, I've never felt so appreciated. Hi, Jack. Thank you so much for the beautiful flowers I received today. I'm so touched and couldn't believe this amazing bouquet was for me. It's been such a privilege and an honor to work with you for the last 8 years. I think it's wonderful that I have been a part, however small, of one of the most successful book series ever. It has been so much fun over the years, and I have enjoyed every minute of it. I feel lucky and blessed, and I want to thank you again for thinking of me. The flowers have made quite a hit with everyone who has walked by my office. Most people want to know exactly what I do for such beautiful flowers. I tell them it was all about love. Once again, love, Randy. I've never known anyone to complain about receiving too much positive feedback. Have you? In fact, just the opposite is true. Whether you're an entrepreneur, manager, teacher, parent, coach, or simply a friend, if you want to be successful with other people, you must master the art of appreciation. Consider this. Every year, a management consulting firm conducts a survey with 200 companies on the subject of what motivates employees. When given a list of 10 possible things that would most motivate them, the employees always list appreciation as the number one motivator. When asked to order that same list, the managers and supervisors ranked appreciation number 8. This is a major mismatch, as the chart below so clearly shows. This is really interesting. 10 ways to really motivate an employees. Appreciation, number 1. Feeling in on things, number 2. Being in the loop, 100%. Understanding attitude. Job security, I figure that, if you're appreciated, you feel safe in the job. Good wages, interesting work, promotion opportunities, loyalty from management, good working conditions, a tactful discipline. Supervisors believe good wages, 1. Wrong. Job security, 2. Promotion opportunities, good working conditions, interesting work, loyalty from management, tactful discipline, appreciation, 8. Wow. understanding attitude, feeling in on things. Wow, that's such a bad understanding. Oh, I want more stuff. It's interesting to also note that the top 3 motivators from an employee's perspective: appreciation, feeling in on things, and an understanding attitude, do not cost anything in terms of money. Just a few moments of time, respect, and understanding. Three kinds of appreciation. I'm eating acai, by the way. I love it. It's so good. It's valuable to make a distinction between 3 different kinds of appreciation: auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. These are the 3 ways people learn. These are the 3 different ways that the brain takes in information, and everybody has a dominant type they prefer. Auditory people need to hear it. Visual people need to see it. And kinesthetic people need to feel it. If you give visual feedback to an auditory person, it doesn't have the same effect. The person might say, he sends me letters and cards and emails, but he never takes the time to walk over and tell me to my face. Visual people, on the other hand, like to receive something they can see, perhaps even hang on their refrigerator. They love letters, cards, flowers, plaques, certificates, pictures, gifts of any kind. They can see it and keep the memory of it around forever. We can tell who these people are by their bulletin boards, refrigerators, and walls. They are covered with reminders that they are loved and appreciated. Kinesthetic people need to feel it: a hug, a handshake, a pat on the back, or actually doing something with them, such as the gift of a massage, taking them out to lunch or dinner, taking them to a ball game, going for a walk, going out dancing. If you want to be a real pro at appreciation, you want to learn which kind of feedback makes the most impact on the person you are delivering it to. One easy way is to ask the person to remember the time they felt most loved in their life. Then ask them to describe it to you. Good question. You could ask some follow-up questions such as, was it something they said, something they did, the way they touched you? Was it the look in their eyes, visual? Tone of their voice, auditory? Tenderness of their touch, or the way they held you as you were dancing, mind visual. That's kinesthetic, dancing one. Once you determine if the person is primarily auditory, visual, or kinesthetic, then you can purposely direct your feedback that way. Oh, so good. I know that my wife, Inga, I always found that a strange name. Inga is primarily a kinesthetic person. Oh, that'd be so difficult. She majored in physical education. She was a massage therapist, personal trainer, and yoga teacher for many years. She loves to go hiking, horseback riding, running on the beach, swimming, body surfing, and dancing. She loves to take long baths, get massages, and practice yoga. These things make her feel good. When she picks her clothes. By the way, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh yeah, but I've got bits of everyone, we all do. It's just you've got more dominant ones, right? These things make her feel good. When she picks her clothes, how they feel to the touch is more important to her than how they look. The best way to express appreciation to my wife is with a hug, a kiss, or a foot massage. She feels most loved when I go for a walk with her. If I am going to give her verbal feedback, she wants me to sit down opposite her, look her in the eye, and hold her hands. Just lying in bed holding hands is enough to make her feel loved and appreciated. If I go off on a long-winded appreciation of her, she'll usually interrupt me at some point with blah, 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 and just hold my hand. Oh, shit. On the other hand, Patty Aubrey, the president of my company, is auditory. She loves to talk on the phone, listen to the radio, or Enjoy the peace and quiet of an empty house. She's really sensitive to the tone of my voice. She loves it when I speak in a caring and compassionate tone of voice. A brief phone call to say thank you works wonders with Patty. I am visual. I love to receive presents, cards, letters, and emails from people whose lives I have touched. I have a wall full of plaques, pictures, book covers, cartoons about Chicken Soup for the Soul, magazine covers that feature our books, and my children's art. I love things to be aesthetic, neat, and orderly, pleasing to the eye. I pick my clothes by how they look. 2 bankers' boxes full of letters and news clippings. I call them my warm, fuzzy boxes. I started something like that. I haven't really added much to it. Just taking out the items and looking at them can get me into a very elevated mood. I actually think that's a really, really good idea. Just all these, something really good happens, you put it on a poster or a card or whatever, just have it in a box and you just fill it up. And then, once a week, do it for like 6 months. And then once a week, you just get it and you just spend 5 minutes reading what you've written down, whether it was a compliment you received from someone or a photo with someone that you've admired and you got to meet them, or I don't know, some awesome thing in a book that you learned, something you achieved, something you got to do for another person. Just write it down, put it in that thing, and then 6 months later, open it up. Mate, it's so powerful. Right. Bringing me a simple gift that says, thank you, I appreciate you, goes a long way with me. Me too. My wife will bring me a single rose in a bud vase in the morning and put it on my desk. And I can look at it all day and know that she loves me. My Chicken Soup co-author, Mark Victor Hansen, recently brought me back a small statue from one of his trips to Asia. He said, I thought of you when I saw it and I wanted you to have it. Every time I look at it, I feel acknowledged, appreciated, and cared about. When in doubt, use all 3 types of communication: auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. Tell them, show them, and give them a pat on the back. You can take a person's hands in yours, look them directly in the eyes, and in a sincere and expressive way, tell them that you appreciate them and their efforts. Then give the person a card or a gift to keep as a reminder. Or you can put your arm around your son or daughter as you walk down the beach together, telling your child how much you appreciate him or her, and then follow up later with a card. You're sure to make your point. Hang in there until you get it right. I once took a couples workshop with Dr. Harville Hendricks, the co-author of Getting the Love You Want, a guide for couples, in which he told a story about learning exactly how his wife wanted to be told she was loved and appreciated. Because she always gave other people flowers, gifts of appreciation, he figured that was what she would also want. So one day he sent her a dozen roses. When he came home from work, he was expecting to get what he called his reward, a big gracious thank you from his wife. When he walked in, she didn't even mention it. That would be my thought too, what they do then. Oh, okay, yep. When he asked her if she had received the roses, she said yes. Can you like them, he asked? Not particularly. Oh, fuck. I don't understand. You always give other people flowers. I thought you loved flowers. Not really that much. Well, what do you like to get? Cards, she replied. Okay, he thought. So the next day he went to the card store and bought her a huge oversized Snoopy card with a funny inscription inside, placed it where she would find it during the day. That night when he came home, he was once again expecting his reward. No reward. He was so disappointed. He asked, did you find the card? Yes. Did you like it? Not really. Well, why not? I thought you like to get cards. I do, but not funny cards. Oh my God. Women! I like the kind of cards that you get at the art museums that have a piece of beautiful art on the front, then a really sweet and romantic message on the inside. Okay. The next day, he went to the Metropolitan Museum, oh my God, of art, and bought a beautiful card and wrote a sweet romantic inscription on the inside. The next day, he placed it where his wife was. When he returned home, she met him at the door and smothered him with kisses and appreciation for the perfect card. Oh my God, what a pain in the ass that chick is. Out of his commitment to make sure that she knew he loved her, he finally found the perfect medium for his message. And she would have loved that he went through all the struggle and the failures and kept going because it shows that he cares more. I don't know the chick, which is why I reacted that way. Who cares? If asked, could you name the 5 wealthiest people in the world or 5 people who have won the Nobel Prize, the last 5 Academy Award winners for Best Actor and Actress. The point is, none of us remembers the headliners of yesterday. When the applause dies, the awards tarnish and achievements are forgotten. No one cares who won which award. But if I asked you to list 5 teachers or mentors who believed in you and encouraged you, 5 friends who have helped you through a difficult time, 5 people who have taught you something worthwhile, or 5 people who have made you feel appreciated and special, that's much easier to do, isn't it? That's because the people who make a difference in your life aren't the ones with the most credentials, the most money, or the most awards. They're the ones who care. If you want to be remembered for being important to someone else's life, make them feel appreciated. Appreciation as a secret of success. Another important reason for being in a state of appreciation as often as possible is that when you're in such a state, you're in one of the highest vibrational emotional states possible. When you're in a state of appreciation and gratitude, you're in a state of abundance. You're appreciating what you do have instead of focusing and complaining about what you don't have. Your focus is on what you have received, and you always get more of what you focus on. True. And because the law of attraction states that like attracts like, you will attract more abundance, more to be thankful for, to you. The more you're in a state of gratitude, the more you will attract to be grateful for. Yep. It becomes an upward spiraling process of ever increasing abundance that just keeps getting better and better. Think about it. The more grateful people are for the gifts we give them, the more inclined we are to give them more gifts. True. Their gratitude and appreciation reinforces our giving. The same principle holds true on a universal and spiritual level as it does on an interpersonal level. Keeping score. When I first learned about the power of appreciation, it made total sense to me. However, it was still something that I forgot to do. I hadn't yet turned it into a habit. A valuable technique that I employed to help me lock in this new habit was to carry a 3x5 card in my pocket all day. And every time I acknowledged and appreciated someone, I would place a check mark on the card, not allow myself to go to bed until I had appreciated 10 people. If it was late in the evening and I didn't have 10 check marks, I would appreciate my wife and children. I would send an email to several staff people, or I would write a letter to my mother or stepfather. I did whatever it took until it became an unconscious habit. I did every single day for 6 months until I no longer needed to carry the card to remind me. I think that is a brilliant activity, and I love it. He's got some really good activities, old Jack Canfield. Take time to appreciate yourself too. This is crucial. David Castevens, formerly of the Dallas Morning News, tells a story about Frank Szymanski, a Notre Dame center, I don't know, in the 1940s, who had been called in as a witness in a civil suit in South Bend, Indiana. Are you on the Notre Dame football team this year? The judge asked. Yes, Your Honor. What position? Center, Your Honor. How good is center? Szymanski squirmed in his seat, but said firmly, Sir, I'm the best center Notre Dame has ever had. Coach Frank Lee, who was in the courtroom, was surprised. Szymanski had always been modest and unassuming. So when the proceedings were over, he took Szymanski aside and asked why he had made such a statement. Szymanski blushed. I hated to do it, Coach, he said, but after all, I was under oath. I want you to be under oath for the rest of your life and to own the magnificent being you are, the positive qualities you have, and the wonderful accomplishments you have achieved. So I think that's really cool. There's a thing I do when I'm training people or in my classes when I do it for my adults. I don't do it for my kids because the concept's a little bit difficult. It's hard for adults to get this right. I get all of my adults before class to tell me at least one, but hopefully 3 things that they're grateful for. So again, putting them in that state of gratitude. And then I get them to tell me 3 things that they love about themselves, which is like a way to appreciate themselves as people. It's a really powerful exercise, and I believe that more than anything, any training or anything I do probably changes people's lives more than anything else, and it's done in a really meaningless format. I think it's a really, really, really powerful principle, and pretty much everyone, God, the amount of people, the most common principles that I think in all the books that I've read, and I've read hundreds now on success, business, fulfillment, relationships, investing, whatever. The most common principles that I believe are for success, for happiness, and anything. Gratitude and being in a state of gratitude and appreciation. Same as what he just said then. That's one. You want to be happy, you got to appreciate shit. You want to be successful and feel like it's fulfilling, appreciation. Crucial. And have good relationships, appreciating exactly what he said, appreciate the people around you. And then persistence. I was having a conversation about this with a couple of boys today, a couple of mates, and I just, like, you don't even have to be that good. You really don't. You can be very average, and there's some amazing stories when it comes to like investing and compounding, right? There's this guy he worked at the post office for his entire life. Like, he did like 40 years at the post office. But when he retired, he had like $70 million because he understood, or he'd heard about this process of compounding. But compounding requires discipline and consistency. So there's a fixed amount of money that he put into this investment over and over and over and over and over again, whether it was weekly or monthly or whatever it was from his paycheck. Small paycheck, like he's getting like 30, 35 grand a year, not much. But over the course of this many years, with all that compounding and the persistence, he's got this bloody huge nest egg at the end of it. And it wasn't a massive investment. He wasn't doing anything special. He wasn't doing this amazing, sort of job that was changing the world or anything like that. But at the end of it, he's a very wealthy guy. Sort of wealth that set his family up for 1 or 2 generations. That's a cool thing. But that's persistence, right? With chipping away, because at the start when you're investing like that, you see nothing. But it bloody snowballs at some stage. It's just like, wow, it's really cool. I think gratitude and persistence are probably 2 of the most important things, because you don't have to be great. You don't have to do a lot. But if you do a little bit consistently all the time, the results will blow you away in whatever area in life that you focus on. If it's fitness, like there's a lot of books on that I read. I know it's bullshit because I do it myself. Like, they tell you have to do for 30 minutes to an hour of intense exercise every day. No, you don't. 5, 10 minutes, completely fine. But if you do it consistently, day in, day out, and I think if you've got 1 or 2 days there where you have a longer session, helps. Doesn't have to. But even if you don't, and every single day it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you're doing these exercises and they're intense, they're strong, and you're still getting a sweat up, then you see mammoth changes in yourself. Mammoth, like, it's insane. I've seen it with so many people now. It's like really cool. Food, like, just a little bit consistent eating, some greens, healthy food, protein. Like, that's one of the things for me to put on weight and put on size. Like, I've actually lost weight, but I'm the strongest that I've ever been. Upper body, anyways. Lower body, probably not, because I'm not really working it. But because every day I've just been a little bit stricter on my protein intake, and it's helping. It's a pain in the ass, but I mean, even at 10 o'clock at night, I'm getting it done. Chuck it in with this, and I like the taste. But it's persistence, man. It's consistency. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be good. You can be average. The thing is, most average, good, even bad, great, excellent people, they give up. They stop. And if you don't, whatever you're doing, absolutely whatever you're doing, eventually you just rise to the top of the heap because people fall away. It's like the quote by Wayne Dyer, and it is, man, I could talk about this for days. The examples, stories. It's never crowded along the extra mile. I think if people understood how profound of a quote that is and the meaning behind it, there's very little else you'd ever need. I don't think there's much else you'd ever really need to learn or study or read. If you lived your life by that, it's never crowded along the extra mile, and you dedicated your life to going the extra mile in everything, you would be extraordinary, even if you're only average. And that's a crazy, crazy thing to think. But it's so true. It's so true. That's what this is. No one's listening to this talk. No one's probably ever going to. I don't really care. But nearly 1,000 videos and lessons and all that sort of stuff. And I've got like 1,000 people watching, 10,000, 100,000, who knows. Yeah, it's really crazy with the consistency, persistence, and being in a state of appreciation. Really cool. Really cool. And I can be appreciative for this now because I know when I go back and watch it at some stage later on, I'm going to feel good because I actually did it. And I had the inkling to do something, did it, made it happen. And whatever comes from it's going to be really cool. So, yeah, that's me. Find something that you want to do. Be grateful for it. Be grateful because if you're consistent with it, it's going to take you somewhere that you probably don't expect. So just give it a crack. See what happens. And have a good sleep.